Hello, my name is Ashley Burnett, and I am a high school science teacher at Global Learning Charter Public School. I teach biology, marine science, and various other electives. Within my classroom, I use many resources to teach my subject matter. In this webinar, I will be talking about the use of textbooks as both a teaching resource and a student resource. In addition, I will be talking about the importance of textbook use and how this can be seen in the classroom. So before we get started, I just wanted to talk about how I view teaching. So teaching and learning is a very important subject for me. I became a teacher to help students learn cool ideas and about the world around them. This relationship between student and teacher is very important. We have a very dynamic relationship within my classroom because I value the students' opinions and beliefs that they bring to the classroom. In addition, I base educational decisions and content knowledge both on the Massachusetts standards and my own experiences within the classroom. I then take those experiences and I encourage students to make their own memories about what we're doing to enhance their learning and have them be able to make memories and input that idea and that concept into their long-term memory. To do this, I have a limited but gaining more tools in my toolkit. So there's this major idea of using a textbook versus not using a textbook. What I have done is I have bridged the two together to create both online resources and the use of a textbook. Within my biology class, we have the online textbook with the one-to-one that students use. I also have a class website where I have information on the various assignments that we do, and I also have additional resources for students to use when they're completing those assignments. I found that this website has allowed students to gain information that they need for the class, and they also are able to see what is going on within the classroom and have the necessary resources in order to be successful at those assignments. When choosing an online textbook, it's important to understand that the information does not have to necessarily go in chronological order, nor does it have to include everything that you want to take on within a class. When there's something that's not in the textbook that you want to include in your class, that's when online resources become a great tool to use within the classroom. For me, I use both the textbook and online resources because they allow the textbook and the information to be presented in many different ways. And students like that there is a current aspect to what they're learning about. So, using the textbook as a resource is very important for students. This allows them to be able to take information and then process and record important information and new concepts. They will also be able to take multiple angles of understanding and be able to use the textbook. So when we are teaching skills about reading textbooks, we usually begin with the teacher standing in front of the classroom and writing down notes on the board. Students then will write that down and then they will usually read a textbook and develop skills that will allow them to do this independently. When I was going through college, I found that my ability to use the textbook allowed me to enhance my understanding and be able to understand what I was learning about. So as I became a teacher, I found that textbooks were a good resource in order to develop curriculum and to develop lessons. So this is a homework assignment that I have for my biology students. Every chapter, they are required to read the chapter and take notes in an outline form. I have taken that basic outline of the chapter and I put that right here. In addition, I have provided specific questions that they need to answer by the end of the chapter that they've read, important vocabulary that they should know, and important reminders and explanations to what they need to do. I found that this assignment is the student's first mode of gaining information about a specific chapter. Another assignment I have that I use a textbook as reference is a lecture. So in a Google Slide presentation, I read through the chapter and provide an outline in the speaker notes. With my way of teaching, I am not a teacher who will stand in front of the class and lecture at students because, one, they know how to read and they can ask questions, and two, I think that's super boring and I want to be excited. I want to be animated and I want to be able to have those conversations while doing activities so that the students make more memories. In addition to reading the speaker notes, students are usually required to do some form of assignment to demonstrate what they've learned from the lecture. Another resource or activity that I have used the textbook as a reference is my words of the day. So as students walk into the classroom, they are given 2 to 4 words of the day in which they take the book and they define these words. After about 5 minutes, we usually go over the words and I encourage students to use the vocabulary while explaining what we're learning about. This enables them to become familiar with the vocabulary and to start using it in their oral discourse. In addition to having the textbooks as a resource for teachers, students also have this resource and mode of gaining information through the textbook. So this is an example of an outline that a student has done. They have taken the information from the cellular respiration chapter and have taken their understanding and their important key understandings of the chapter and put it in an outline. This outline is very intricate and yet simple at the same time. It also includes important figures and it includes the bolded information that they can use as a study tool when preparing for a test. In addition to being able to create outlines and having information presented to them in a written form, they can also use the textbook glossary to find definitions and references to where that is in the book. This is also a very important tool when completing assignments and learning vocabulary and having multiple avenues of understanding that vocabulary. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me, and thank you for watching. Have a wonderful evening.